The following live broadcast is rated ESVPG. Our topics can be all over the map. Good evening, everybody. It's that holiday season. It's that time where things kick in, things get depressing, things that also great. You get time with family and stuff. And we're going to talk about it tonight. We want to hear about your best holiday memories, what's been going on, how you're doing this year as an improvement over last year. Did you get your shopping done? All of that coming up as well with our great panelists right here. So you guys ready to do this?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Gather together, always together.
Good evening and welcome to another Ear Shoulder Voice open forum. It's been a while since we've been on. We've been busy. We've had things going on. Things are finally improving. We haven't as much time with people. And of course, we've had some bad luck too. Our systems have been down. People have been sick because, well, it's that time of year. But what else is it? It's also Christmas time. It's right around the corner. But this is our open forum show. Not only can we talk about Christmas and everything that's going on during that, how people feel. We want to talk about you and how you're feeling because Christmas and the holidays is one of the worst times of year. For a lot of people, depression's at its all-time high. People get crazy who are usually very stable and happy, and suicide rates are at an all-time high too. And most of the time, that reason is because people feel there's nobody around and there's nobody with them, or they've lost people they love. And we're here to show you that life does continue, and you're never alone. You've always got somebody around you, but always take that branch when it's given to you because people are there for you, and it's a lot better for their lives, especially if you're still in it. And with that, we're going to introduce our panelists because without panelists, we don't really have a show. So let's bring them on in. All right, before we bring in that first panelist, don't forget right here, like, share, subscribe, and follow the Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. We're on all that right there. And also, don't forget you can chat live during the show. We'll respond to everything you say to us. Just go on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and we are on there. Just chat live, and we will carry on any discussion because this is our open forum. It is your show, too. Whatever you want to talk about, we're there for you. And you can call in simply by going to earshouldervoice.com. Please welcome our first panelist tonight, the one, the only, the lovely Lenny. Welcome back, Lenny. Happy holidays.
Hello.
How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right. So how have you been? We haven't seen you in a while either. You were on the last show we did, but it's been a break because I've been gone too. How have things been going?
Really good. My Christmas shopping is done.
How is that possible? I always think it is.
Oh yeah, I did mine online. That's why. It's
Oh,
easy
well,
that way.
You know what? I can't do it on all. I did a lot this year. I don't usually do it online, but this year I was doing a lot of it online just because my shopping time has changed. Like I used to
Yeah.
rely on going midnight shopping every year, like either Wednesday or Christmas Eve. And to me, that was an event. That was what I did. But none of the stores are open late anymore. And they
That's
still
true.
haven't gone to it. So I had to do some of it online because I just didn't have the time.
Yeah, I did a little bit in person, but what the worst part is when you do it early, you keep shopping.
That's the thing, and I'm still finding, like, I'm constantly online for something I might need. Maybe it's a cable for my computer or something like that. I'm like, oh, wait, that would be a great gift for whoever, and I start to continue to shop.
Or you buy for yourself.
Yeah, I'm always buying for myself. That's probably my worst thing. But it adds up because I'm a balanced person half the time, so I'll be like, oh, I got to get them that. That's perfect. Well, now I need something else for them.
Yeah.
Because I got to even it out.
Unless you don't have enough money to even it out.
That's also a very difficult thing, and that's one of the things that adds to the pressure of the year, this time of year.
Right.
All right, please welcome our next panelist, Anthony. Welcome back. How you doing?
Hi, Anthony.
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Absolutely fantastic. How is the holiday season treating you?
Oh yeah, holidays. Nothing
Oh, yeah.
but fun.
They can be. So we were talking, do you get all your Christmas shopping done? Or any?
I think so. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Keeping it
He
a
doesn't
secret
want
to the
say.
last minute. Christmas morning, you go out under
Now
the
I'm
tree.
thinking
It's like,
about it. I'm like,
guess
oh,
what? I didn't get it done.
Yeah.
That's good. At least you got it out of the way. And we got our final panelist coming in. Please welcome back Bill the King. Bill, what's going
Hi,
on?
Bill. Merry Christmas.
How's it going?
Merry
Good.
Christmas. How is your holiday season approaching?
Bah humbug.
Oh,
Such a cheerful bunch here. We keep.
Hey,
Woo!
I'll be fine. Christmas Eve, I get to spend Christmas Eve with the dogs, so I'm happy.
Hey, those are like your kids. Those are your family.
That's
So-
right.
do you have all your Christmas shopping done?
Well, I tell you, honestly, since my mother passed away, Christmas with me is just like my daughter, which my daughter got her Christmas today. I bought her a bunch of housewares and stuff like that. I bought her like $300 worth of stuff, dishes, flatware,
Right.
pots and pans, mixing bowls and stuff. And then other than that, Kathy and Will, and they're just getting beer. So that's it.
Elena's here. Elena's asking Anthony, "Why is your hair so straight?"
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, and isn't it time for Keith to get a haircut? His hair is
Hell
looking a little
no.
long.
Hell no. I'm gonna let it go long.
Looking a little
You
long
gotta let
there.
it go long. I
Well,
guess
that's
my
cool.
hair's straight because I've been wearing a hat.
What will happen for sure is the minute I get my pool open next year and I start swimming, I'm gonna say this fucking hair sucks and I'm getting a haircut that week.
Right.
That's what'll happen. That's what usually does. Because I try to keep it. When I start to grow long, I don't want to cut it because it's grown so far. But then when I'm swimming, I'm like, no, swimming takes precedence. Get that stuff out of here.
I don't know about you, Keith, but I used to. This is the longest my hair's ever been, and it's. I'm gonna be that guy. It's grown on me. I kind of like it long.
See what you
Right?
did.
Right,
See
and
what
it's.
you did.
I didn't mean to do that, but like at the same time, what else am I supposed to say? Like I kind of like having long hair now.
You've
I
opened
never
up
thought I
your
would.
feminine side.
Girl, I've always had my feminine side. Don't you worry.
Well, when I was young, my hair was like 3 times longer than Lenny's hair. My hair was down to my belt loops.
Wow.
And
Oh wow.
the only thing with that was, you're bouncing at the bar, fight starts. First
They
thing you
grab
got to
your
do
hair.
is put it in a ponytail and stick it down the back of your shirt, or else they got hold of your hair. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's bad, especially if there's like girls involved in the fight. And I remember from bouncing, like those are the ones you didn't want to because it's no holds barred. And you've got long hair, that hair is being ripped out without a question.
Oh yeah.
So we were asking our panelists, is their holiday shopping done? How about everybody out there in the chat? Is your holiday shopping done? Have you done it yet? Let us know. Does this create pressure for you or anything? Let us know in the chat.
I'm curious if online shopping has made people shop sooner, or if they still wait, because you can't really wait if you shop
If-
online.
If anything, people probably wait later because they're like, "Oh, I'll just get it online," and then they forget that there's the whole shipping delay.
Right.
Especially right now with the state of the global
Right.
shipping crisis,
Right.
supply chain, and all that lovely stuff.
Has online
You'd be
shopping
like
made
my
your
friend.
holidays easier or quicker? That's a good question on there.
Well, my friend did all her shopping, and she said she was done by June.
Jesus.
I said, well, you can't. I said, you can't do that. And she goes, why? I said, you'll see. Well, then what happens in August? You know what? I was over at so-and-so's house, and they just went out and bought what I got them for Christmas.
Right.
Or you
That's why-
just keep finding more things and you keep buying more things. That's what
I'm-
happens.
And I'm one of the hardest people to shop for because if I want something, I buy it.
Me too.
Like without question. Angela's here. Angela says, I bought nothing, didn't even put up a tree this year. I understand. We're going to talk about that in a moment, and Angela, because you've been on here and you've discussed you've been through a hell of a year. You've had a lot of stuff going on. And Elena says, I did all my shopping online this week, currently wrapping everything. See, you're lucky. I can't do that. I did a lot online this year, but it feels incomplete when I haven't trudged them all. And we've got one of the outdoor malls. We've got Partridge Creek out by us, and I love hitting that mall when it's snowing in the middle of winter. Because they have the right music playing, some of the classic Christmas music, and people are bundled up and they're walking. It looks like a scene from like It's a Wonderful Life. And it's such a cool feeling to do that with the lights. And I need that, and I'm still hoping to do it in the next few days. I want to go back to Angela's comment as well as talk to Bill, because Bill, you're in a situation very similar to me in some ways. And Angela, I know you've explained it before, but for some of the people in the chat, is there a particular reason you didn't put up a tree this year? Is it the same reason you explained before? So Bill, You had mentioned Christmas isn't much to you. You spend it with your dogs. The Christmas Eve. Are you doing anything Christmas Day?
Well, Christmas Eve, I'm spending it with the dogs, and if I can get a driver, I got this guy I know. He's having this dysfunctional Christmas gathering at his house. So if I can
Where do
get a
you live?
driver, huh?
Where do you live?
Hazel Park,
No, that's not
where
up by
Keith
me.
grew up.
I'd be going the opposite way. Because I know a guy that's having a similar party. It might even be the same one. I was gonna say if you were close to me, I could grab you on the way.
He's not that
Well,
far from you. He's only 8 miles south.
Oh, that's
my
true.
problem is I can't not getting out there is so I have not been able to buy tires for my truck.
Oh,
You know, there is a tire shortage, and I go to buy tires, and they say, "Oh yeah, we got that," and I drive in to get them. Well, they don't have the $150 piece tires. All of a sudden, we've got these tires over here. They're $325 a piece. Well, I'm not putting $1,500 worth of tires on a $1,600 truck.
yeah.
Oh,
No, right now it's we don't have the all the stuff to make everything, so we're just gonna make the high end shit. We're not
Right.
gonna make the cheap stuff that everyone can afford.
Right.
mhm.
So, that is what I do. And there's a reason I actually do this party. There's a reason I have this party every year because I am the host of this dysfunctional friends party that people are talking about on here. Why don't you have something going? Why don't you celebrate, Bill?
Well, like I said, it's not the same, you know. And even after my dad passed 23 years ago, you know, stuff changed a little bit, and our family, you know, scattered out. And as Keith knows, my sisters both become a couple of fucking uh, the c words, and so I don't
Cherry
talk to them. I
tops.
finally got, huh?
Cherry tops.
Yeah. Well, I already got in trouble for saying white trash Christmas, so.
Yeah,
But I finally got my sister out of this house. I told my daughter, I said, whatever you want to do, you know, if she wanted to come over here or whatever. But like I said, I spend the day with Kathy, and now she's with Will. So I mean, but I've spent Christmas with Kathy over the last 5 years. So, and that usually involves the dogs. And like I said, I love the dogs. So,
that's definitely something to do. But it's right. My mom used to host all our Christmas, and she would host a couple holidays every year. It was big at our house, and she made sure to make it a point all the time, including family. Every family she could find. She also made it a point to include somebody she found on the street with nowhere to go. You know, she had no problem picking up a guy begging for change at the corner of the underpass. You know, if he truly looked like he was in need of help and had nowhere to go. And that's a tradition I tried to keep alive. And when I lost her, yeah, that's exactly what it was. I didn't have a reason to keep it alive. It was so hard to even try anymore. And I tried to keep the family thing going. I tried to have the big meal, invite everybody I could. And it wasn't the same. You know, it never still felt. I was always missing that part. And I thought, why bother celebrating anymore? Uh, and I think Angela just recently lost somebody too. And that's what she was talking about on there. But I've kind of reversed that energy around. I've tried to create something different, which I still have a dinner at my house, and it's open invite to anybody with nowhere to go. Usually doesn't turn out as big, but what I did was take the energy, and because the holiday's so hard, I created the dysfunctional Christmas party. And it's really for just everybody who's either, you could just be done with your family and tired and so, you know, done with all the stress of the day and come over
that's every
and
day.
finally, yeah, but you come over and spend it with friends and relax because it doesn't just help them, it helps me. Now, Lenny, I know you've lost people in your life. I don't know how deep that has affected you, Anthony, at all. How has your holiday celebration gone, Lenny, since the
Uh,
loss of certain people?
well, I haven't really lost anybody like thank God. I almost lost my mom last year, so Christmas is way better this year than last year. So I've got a lot to actually celebrate for. But I'm not like you. I'm not a big Christmas person. I for some reason I am the bah humbug, like he said, and I have no reason to be for real. I've got a lot to be thankful for and everything else. It's just I never loved Christmas because as a kid, it was always like, get up, you open your gifts. Okay, you don't get to play with them. We got to go to grandma's house. We got to go here. And then you
Well,
had
we
to
were
go
the house
there.
they went to, so we got them all day. We still weren't allowed to play with the gifts.
Well, and the same thing then when I had my first child, it was the same thing. We couldn't even relax and let him open up all of his gifts because he was the first grandchild, and both sides wanted to see him. And both sides are a couple hour drive each to go do that. And it was just like stressful. I always said I'd rather just go away for Christmas and relax. So kind of like your dysfunctional Christmas, I might like it. And then the
Yeah.
other part, everybody's out spending so much money, and that's not really what it's about. I would rather have somebody make something for me that is like a little kid making a little, drawing that is sweet than somebody going out, they have to spend $25 because they drew my name,
Yeah,
whatever.
there's the personal aspect of it, and it's not that I'm actually a huge fan of Christmas. I'm definitely a huge fan of the get together, of the family, of the warmth. That's what I think I miss so much, and that's one of the reasons I do the event I do. And it does put me in a good mood, but it does cost money. It's not a cheap thing to put together by far,
Right.
but it's worth it in that case. Angela says that Christmas is hard for her because it was her grandma's birthday and she passed in 2018.
Yeah.
And since she's been gone, my family has fallen apart. Kind of what happened with my mom, and especially with my grandma, who passed in 2014. Angela was actually sitting on the couch with me when I got the news of my mom's passing. She lived with me. That was, 12 years ago now that it happened.
Yeah.
And now she moved to the Carolinas. And it hits so damn hard that you remember these people, and how can you celebrate without them? But we always forget that living life and continuing to be happy is what they truly would want for us. And where do we draw the line so we don't feel, because I still feel wrong sometimes having it without her there. It doesn't feel right. It's a little messed up. And she says that this year is worse because of she passing, and Elena is up there with her aunt. Oh, she is. Well, hi to Elena when she's up here. So how do you, what do you got a response for Angela on that too? How do you think is a good way to get through it? I'll talk primarily to Bill on that, who's lost more people.
Over the years of my life, because of, and it's weird, it's so stupid because of this, but like the bars that I worked at, I had friends, okay? I had bar acquaintances, but I had friends also. Well, when the bars closed, or I quit working there, it kind of separated. And the same thing happened here recently, My friends changed their idea of me and their friendship with me because I befriended a gay woman.
So what's wrong with that?
And
Well,
asked his friends
they had
about that.
problems. A lot of them had problems with it. I
Yeah.
mean, and they acted like they didn't. But I don't see or hear from them too much anymore.
Wow.
Well,
And
you
that's
just,
Well, that's shocking because I could almost see, because I've had people like, if you were a guy and you befriended a gay guy, they might think that something's up. But to befriend a gay woman, it's just a friend. What's the difference? Anyway, you look at it, it's just a friend.
Well, I had the
That
one
you
guy,
had.
he asked me, he goes, what's the deal? He goes, well, why are you friends with her? I said, she likes beer. I like beer.
Yeah.
I said, she likes Fireball. I like Fireball. I said, she likes pussy. I like pussy. I mean, what the hell? I mean, we all like the same thing. So,
You have a lot. It's that same thing with me with my gay guy friends. I mean, we go get our nails done. I like that. They like that.
Now-
It's the same. You have common
and
interests.
Kathy's 20 years younger, or Kathy's 19 years younger than I am, and she's like my daughter. She's like a kid to me. But she's someone who still to this day, ever since I met her, anytime I was able to fix anything or repair anything for her, she wasn't, hey, can you do this? She's like, hey, can you teach me to do this?
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm curious. Why do you think your friends don't want you around her, or don't? Why do you?
Well,
think your
it's not
friends
that they don't want
have
her. they don't want me.
with this.
It's not that they don't want me around her. They just not around me anymore.
But why? Why do you think?
Well, I don't know. They're
Shallow-minded.
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, what it boils down to, and I hate to say it that way, but it is. It's
Yeah.
shallowness. It's just,
I mean, I've had words with a couple of them. You know, the other thing too is, I mean, my best friends before Kathy, most of them were 10 and 12 years younger than me. You know,
Yeah.
so I was still always the old man. You know, type
Right.
of thing. So even when I worked at the bar, when I worked at Derby's, you know, 10 years ago, I was 48 years old. 48 years old is old to be bouncing a door.
yeah.
I mean, it really is.
And I'm
But the
approaching.
thing was, yeah, and those guys that were there because they were my friends, they always had my back, no matter what.
And I'm approaching that more too because, of course, being in the bar business, unfortunately, a lot of the clientele stays younger. You know, and the people you're friends with and stuff stays there. And I'm, you know, approaching that status of being the old guy, you know, over there. Not quite there yet. But you had mentioned that based on your decisions, people didn't want to spend time around you. And my question for people in the chat and as well as on here, has the last few years diminished the ones you had around for the holidays? Whether it be because of your political or COVID beliefs or anything like that, has that altered your holidays at all? As far as friends and...
Just COVID itself, just out of fear of, you know, get too big of a gathering, especially with the people that I'm around have, you know, underlying conditions that if they get it, they're kind of really probably not going to make it. But
I had 12 people take me off Facebook because of a comment that I made about Donald Trump.
Yeah. What about you, Anthony? You've been quiet this whole time. I know you're absorbing. I know that some of the topics we talk about you haven't quite fully experienced yet, as far as I'm aware, correct?
Correct.
I don't hear you at all.
Correct.
Okay. You're really, really quiet right now.
yeah,
Even up by the mic, you were really quiet.
yeah.
He's sitting there listening to his hair grow.
Yes.
Has any of this affected the friends you've had around? Because I know that you do have certain friends that you clash with. And has it affected
Not really.
getting together or hanging out for you?
Not really, because I mean, for the most part, the friends that I have disagreements with, I disagree with them, but I don't think any less of them, and I hope they don't think any less of me by the end of the day. And you know,
You know, we all hope that, but believe me, I've got friends in my circle that, yes, they do.
well, yeah, but ultimately, where I'm at with life is fuck it, right? If people want to have a view on me because of a few opinions I have, and they don't want to deal with me anymore, cool. Have a nice life. It doesn't. I could care less.
Well, don't you miss them at that point? I mean, I know the attitude of I could care
I
less.
miss-
God knows I've used that so many times. But do you truly care less, or would you like to have those people around still?
Let's. Sometimes I miss moments, but ultimately it's not. I don't know. It is what it is.
It's something you
Like,
can't change.
yeah, there's
in your
nothing I
mind.
can do about it, so I try not to dwell too much. But of course, I miss some of the moments that we had in the past and that. But there's missing that or wanting them to change the way they feel is really nothing I can do. So I try not to dwell on it and think too much about it. Just got to move on and keep doing me.
That's what you got to do. But I'm going to tell you right now, because you're the youngest one on the panel right now, Anthony, that at least for me personally, I don't know about the other people on here, that attitude is a good attitude in the moment. But as you get older and older, you realize how much those people really do matter to you. And it gets harder to accept that with some of them, especially when it comes to family. You don't have any family like that you wish was the other way, Lenny?
Nah.
That was. What do you mean the other way?
That maybe you've lost because of disagreements we're talking about again in the past little bit, that you wish they were still part of your life?
No, because I don't hold a grudge, and I don't. If they have their view, I have my view. If they don't, I'm kind of like Anthony. If they don't like my view, oh well. I just.
It's
don't
not about that
bring
you
up.
accept it. I accept that if you don't like my view, you don't want to be around me. That's perfectly fine.
Well, I'm
But
just
I
saying,
still
it's
miss
never
your face.
but it's never caused me to not see someone or not.
Okay,
I just don't talk about the things that maybe we disagree on.
I'm actually more
know?
referring to the people who are not there because of it. Who you
I
might
don't-
not. Okay, you might not have somebody like that. Believe me, in the bar, I've lost a lot of friends who are just not there. Who are the life of the parties that I used to have, who are just not there anymore. I do have friends that have polar opposite opinions as I do. That I still hang around, and it's great to have them around. They're still great. But the ones that are not there, yeah, I accept that. But at the same time, I wish that they were. I wish that wasn't a divide, and I miss it. What about you, Bill?
It's the whole thing of, I mean, and it was always, here we go back to the bar thing. You know, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion, and then
Right.
here lately you had to throw in, you don't talk about the damn virus,
Right.
because you know, I went into the whole fact of my friends arguing with me about this, and I told them a year ago, maybe longer than a year ago. In fact, I've talked to Keith about this. I told them, I said, this virus is going to mutate.
Yeah.
I said, there's nothing you can do about it. It's going to mutate. And I said, and when it does, it's still going to be here. You know, and I told Keith before, I said, to give yourself an idea of what the hell was going on, you watch the movie Outbreak. Right? It gives you an idea of what type viruses do when it's something like this that was this strong, that was a global pandemic.
People are getting
Because
their
of the
taste
fact
of
that-
that finally. I mean, they
Right.
are seeing that.
And then
But-
my friend Kathy tells me the other day, she goes, you were right. You know, we have the Omicron, whatever the fuck it is. And I said, yeah. I said, that's a mutation. And she goes, yeah. And now we got another one. I said, Kathy, it's not just one. I said,
right.
There's multiple mutations of it, and there's still
Yeah, and
trying
as
to
they
find
find it,
one
they're
single vaccine. So
But
Well,
so
I have
you. Go
I have
ahead.
a quick COVID question. Maybe you guys know. So when somebody tests for COVID now, they don't know right away if it's Delta, if it's the
No,
first
they have to
thing,
do
or if it's
Gene
Omicron.
sequencing on the virus.
Yeah, they just know you have a variant of it. They don't know which it is at
To
this
find
point
out,
until
they
further
have to
testing.
Take the sample, and then they have to do like a.
So we
super
could
high-tech,
have
expensive
have
test.
boatloads of Omicron in our state.
Oh, yeah,
Just
it's all-
we probably don't even really know.
And I'm
yet.
sure we do.
So we've only supposedly right now. So from what? Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of nurses friends that I talk to. All right. So when you test positive right now, and you have symptoms and are bad, they send your results somewhere else to find out what it is.
Right.
So supposedly here lately, it is said that we only have 6 or 8 cases of the new
Right.
Omicron. So
But there's a lot of people that just like I have in-home tests. I've had them from the very beginning of COVID. I bought $500 worth of tests.
If it
back
turned
last
out
year.
positive, you would have to go to get a sample to get sent out to find out what variant it is.
if you wanted
pretty
to.
much.
But
Yeah,
there's
if you wanted
probably a
to.
lot of people that test and say, "Oh, I've got COVID, I'm staying home." But it's
Nope,
just
we
one
lost
of those
Bill for a
over-the-counter tests, so there's not going to be any data on it. And I asked when I originally bought my $500 worth of tests back last December, I think it was. I asked the pharmaceutical guy that came out to the farm that I was in Florida, I'm like, why can't we buy these in the store? And he said because there'd be no way of them being able to get the data.
Yeah.
And now we have them in the store.
Well, now I think it's to the point that people are pretty much just done with it and they want to move on. That's what I'm hoping.
You've got
And that's why
places
they're
now
so
that you-
publicly available. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
right
Bill.
now you've got places where you go to get tested, and they give you the option. You can get the 2-day test, before we get the results. You can get the rapid test, or we can give you the at-home test
Okay.
type of thing. Because Kathy and I had to go get tested the other day because her neighbor who was over had the virus. She tested positive, and unfortunately, and I hope she's not watching, that stupid idiot did not stay at home for her 10 days. She went right out and got a mani-pedi.
Yeah, that's why I have other friends that have done the same. I had one that was with a family member that had COVID and then got on a plane and flew for her vacation and didn't want to take a test to even know. And this is why we're having issues with this whole spread, because nobody wants to just kind of hunker down and do what's
That's
right
true.
for everyone else.
Yeah, if you get it, I
It's-
think you definitely should have the common sense and decency to just self-quarantine and take care of it yourself. Who cares if you believe? Who cares anything else? Just take care of it and move on with your life,
Yeah, right.
Still have your opinions, still have one way or another. Gabe here says, glad you're feeling better, Bill. I don't know if he's referring to Bill. And hi, everyone. Glad to see you on here, Gabe. Okay, so let's move back to a little bit about the holiday for us. Obviously, not everybody's experienced the same loneliness on the holiday, but I think a lot of us have because, last year, a lot of us were alone for the holidays. It wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people say I don't have that problem, there has to be something in you that did click during that period.
Do you think that back to COVID again. So last year everybody's hunkered down, or this year everybody's hunkered down. And I think they'll have a solid appreciation to people that have lost someone, because there's a lot of people that aren't with family right now because they're afraid to be with family, and they're feeling that loneliness and stuff like that, and they haven't even lost anybody. I mean, it's sad.
Well, it took literally, even though it wasn't COVID related, it took the loss of my mom and especially my grandmother to make my brother become more aware and more appreciative of the family that still was around, at that time. So it does sometimes take loss or having it without it to see it improve in the future, especially when around the holidays. Let's bring it around to a little happier note for a minute. I got one of my favorite movies playing on in the background here.
Shitter's full.
Yeah, no, you need to move over to the
Shitter's full.
side. I can't see the whole thing. Your head's in the way.
Yeah, I'm lowered as far as I can go, really, There you go. I'm sorry. One of my favorite films. So what is one of your favorite movies, films, or TV specials you have to watch during the holidays besides Wizard of Oz?
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
I love you too, and beside the Wizard of Oz. Mine is, and I actually went out and bought it because it wasn't on TV. Well, first of all, let's go back to I was so happy that Snoopy fighting the fucking lawn chair was on TV again. Finally, even though it was on PBS, but I got to watch it, even though I own it, but I still want to watch it on TV. But my other one is, I believe it's The Year Without a Santa Claus with the Heat Miser and the Cold Miser. I mean, that's just my crack up favorite,
I missed your son.
And the best thing is like Snoopy fighting the lawn chair and the Heat Miser, Cold Miser. You watch that when you're drunk or high, and you're really fucking laughing your ass off.
Elena says the original Grinch is one for sure. The cartoon, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, definitely. I actually thought the movie wasn't bad. The first one, the Jim Carrey movie, wasn't bad at all. I think they did a good job of capturing the cartoon with what they had, especially at that time. It was, 2000. So I think they did a good job pulling it off. The new one sucked. But yeah, the original Grinch I used to have to watch every year as I was a kid.
Okay. Did you all put a tree up? You three?
I have not yet. I planned on doing it probably tomorrow. Well, the people I do have staying with me at my house, and I've got kids staying with me right now as well, and I wanted them to be part of the experience. So I want them to go shopping for the tree with me. I want to be ducking under a semi with that tree sometime on the drive home, just like my favorite movie back there.
Okay, so if you drive up to West Branch, all right, I can show you. I tell you a place out there. You just drive out there. It's government land, but it's okay. You go out there, cut down your own tree. All right. I only got caught once. 3 days in jail is not a big thing. All right.
As long as you do it at least 3 days before Christmas.
Hey, if it's
Yeah.
a Christmas tree, it's worth it.
Yes.
Did you give the police officers the tree and put it up in the jail?
I actually, when I got caught, I had the tree in my truck. So they impounded my truck. All right. It took me, and the judge said, "Oh, blah, 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 you got to pay a fine." I said, "I'm not paying the fine right now. I don't have the cash on me," because I was out there. So they put me in jail for 3 days, and they turned me loose. And I went and got my truck out of the impound. It cost me, at that point in time, like $120. And the tree was still in the back of the truck.
So
That was good.
that tree cost
This
you
is
a lot of
That's an
money.
expensive damn tree.
$120. But you got to figure the 3 days in jail, I got free food.
That makes up for it, yeah. I was like,
At McDonald's in the morning, hey, especially when you tell the guy, "Hey, I'm a growing young man. I need
And-
3 of those breakfast sandwiches.
And that was probably like before we had like the DoorDash and all that. So you got it delivered to you
Oh.
nonetheless. Because that's my problem with eating
Yes.
breakfast. I get up for it, but I don't want to go out for it. Like, get a McDonald's. So that has to be nice.
Well,
Back-
right now I've been eating Wendy's biscuits in the morning for $1.
Can't
Honey
beat
butter
those.
biscuit with bacon and egg on it is awesome.
For $1?
Yeah, they're only
Pretty
$1.
good.
Yeah,
They're all $1.
they're good too.
And-
Their biscuits are good.
And you go in there and they give you a little card and you get a free Frosty every day for a year.
How do you get the
Nice.
free Frosty for a year?
I have addictive personality, so I used to be the guy that went to Little Caesars, got to order crazy bread, and then went to 7-Eleven and got a giant frozen Coke every day.
Yeah. Those were the days. I don't have that as
Yes.
much anymore, but I used to.
I
But
had
you know-
to quit it because of the sugar.
Well, it's also a lot of times I think it's something I had to, because I used to kind of get that too. Everywhere I went, I would take my friends out to a restaurant just because I've been there like twice before. They'd write the whole tab off. They wouldn't care. Like, no, you're good. You're great. And I had the same thing, but now people watch. They're so big on eye cost and so big on making the dollar and not giving you 1 ounce of extra anything anywhere that it gets hard, and people get fired for that shit. Like, they didn't used to. They used to like, oh yeah,
Why
you gave them
gotta
the meal.
go to
That's cool.
Tony's? You got to
I
go
hate
out to Tony's.
Tony's.
75.
I
I hate Tony's too. Listen, the food is not great, but as my
Quantity
mom
over
always
quality.
said, my mom always said that it's you eat certain foods because it's gut filler. So anytime I'm out there going to Tony's, so you can go out there and talk to the waitresses if they're the still same people. I ate the giant breakfast, 2 of them sitting there.
Where's Tony's?
Tony's on I-75.
So I
And
said, like, Middle Michigan. Is that Holly out there? I think it's
Uh,
right by Frankenmuth. It's like
Oh,
within
yes.
10 miles of
yeah,
Frankenmuth.
I have
Birch
that,
Run.
yeah.
yes.
It's like
So they have the
it's
big,
like in a
they have the
shopping
big
kind of
breakfast. You
spot.
get 5 eggs, you get a bunch of sausage links, you get a pound of bacon, you get the pancakes and everything like that, and the hash browns. And I sat there the one day and I ate it all, and I'm just about a bite done. And she goes, "Did you enjoy it?" I said, "Yeah, it's all right." And she started to walk away. I said, "Wait, you didn't ask me if I needed anything else." And she goes, "Do you need something else?" I said, "Yeah, I want this again."
Oh my gosh.
I hate
So
you,
they
Bill.
everyone in the restaurant was watching me.
To see
And
if
I
you could
ate
eat it all.
And I ate both platters, and the waitresses paid my bill and gave me a Tony shirt, which was way too small anyway, but yeah.
Well, by that point, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, you probably gained a couple sizes, I think.
I was like, back
So,
to
Ant-
the.
Yeah, back to the movie. Anthony, how about you? There's
Before we
Scrooge
get to
up there.
Anthony, we haven't even addressed Gabe on here, and Scrooge, because Gabe says Scrooge,
Scrooge.
and Scrooge is a classic beyond belief. I mean, that is a great movie.
Oh, yeah, Bill Murray.
It's one of the ones I actually forget about a lot of times, and when I see it, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about this movie because it is so funny. It is one of the best takes I think they've ever done on A Christmas Carol.
Which Christmas special do you know almost word for word for the whole thing?
Charlie Brown Christmas would be me.
See, I know all the cartoons, but I tell you what, and it's awful. I used to be able to talk you through It's a Wonderful Life because
Yeah.
it was on 65 times a
Yep.
fucking day.
Oh, if you're gonna do that, it's A Christmas Story. Because of the 24 hours of A Christmas Story, and everybody's got to play it like they've never seen that movie before. And sadly, it's halfway made me hate that movie.
And that was the other one I was going to say. Which I don't watch that anymore. I can't. It drives me nuts to watch
Right.
it.
And it's such a good movie. But it's been so overblown and so out there. If they would just change it up and do 24 hours of Christmas Vacation, 24 hours of A Christmas Story, 24 hours of, It's a Wonderful Life, and did something different each year.
Mhm.
Or 24 hours of the classics where you take like 6 movies and you repeat them for the next, repeat them 4 times or something. And I think that
A
would be a
good
better
movie
choice.
is The Good Witch's Christmas.
Good
Not
wishes.
familiar. I know The Good Witches, but I'm not familiar with that
Okay,
movie.
so yes, and that's why it's a good movie because Catherine Bell's in it. So
Elena, Elena says she's never seen A Christmas Story. Just turn on TNT; it'll be there. It is actually, if you've never seen it, it is a great movie. It really is. It's a classic in its own right, it's something you relate a lot to in a lot of ways if you remember being a kid and stuff like that. But it's just, to me, it's overblown now, and they act
Yeah.
like that's the only Christmas movie out, and it's definitely not. So going back to you were asking Anthony. Go ahead, Lenny.
No, I just
Oh,
he
and it-
he.
On Keith's screen.
What's that? I can barely hear you, Anthony.
Yeah, you're really
Yell
low.
into that
But he
microphone.
said it's on my screen, which means it's Christmas vacation.
Christmas vacation.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
I wondered what he was watching.
So if I zone out a little bit, I'm watching Christmas Vacation.
Right over me.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
Just zoning in.
I can't get high
Joy
enough.
to
Let's
the
see.
world.
Absolutely. That the must watch for you every
yeah.
time?
It's the only one. None of the other ones matter in my book.
I'm a
Yeah.
millennial. What makes you think I have cable? Well, you can still have. There's still streaming services out there, and there's still TNT is on like Sling and Hulu Live and all that. So you can
Get
still
hold of me. I
watch
got
it.
4 different apps. You can watch whatever you want on it. All the brand new movies come out. You can watch them
Sure
right
it's
away,
on Netflix.
and it's free.
We don't advertise piracy here, Bill.
I didn't advertise because I didn't say anything, but there's 4 of them out there now. It's like boom, boom, boom. Listen, I've been watching Yellowstone on it. 883 comes out tonight. I'm gonna watch that. I watch everything in the world. All the new movies that come out, they're on there, and I watched them. It's like
Something like
I
that.
just like it's great.
And yours is Rudolph, Lenny?
Of course. It's the only.
The original
Right.
Rudolph, the animation Rudolph, the stop motion Rudolph.
The original one, yeah. With
When
the
I was a kid.
Abominable and the dentist and
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
but
a
there's no
few.
munchkins in that. Those are elves, not munchkins.
But what I loved about that is you only got to watch it once a year as a kid, you know? Now, like you said, all these things are on continuously. So
Yeah.
you're not really looking forward.
Well,
to
the
it again
specials
next
they've
year.
still been good on. The worst, like I said, the worst mistake they made was when they ported the specials over to was it Apple TV, I think, and said this is where you got to be to watch those specials. That was the problem because they were available anytime, any place.
Yeah.
It wasn't an event to try and watch them, and it kind of should be because it creates that memory. You know, we're going to air it this time. We're going to do it now. Get the family together. You got to see the special this year.
Right.
Well, and the thing is when they run them. Okay, so Channel 7, the day before Thanksgiving, had all the Christmas specials on. Had Frosty, had Rudolph,
Yeah.
had Santa Claus Comes to Town. Why are you running it the day before Thanksgiving?
Yeah. That's a little early.
You could have had Charlie Brown Thanksgiving on there, and everyone could have watched it.
I did look forward to the specials on Thanksgiving too. You know, I really did. I liked them on Thanksgiving as well, even if they were the Christmas ones, because they had enough to fill the gaps around Christmas. Whether it was Charlie Brown, I don't care if it was Scooby Doo's Christmas, I would watch it because you looked forward to that special, and they would sometimes come out with a new one. I always looked forward. I mean, Halloween was the number one I did, but for Christmas was the TV shows. My favorite TV shows doing their special episodes. Roseanne, like you were saying, Bill, White Trash Christmas, I'll say it for you.
Yes.
On there was
I
one
already
of them.
said it once. It's all right.
Yeah.
It was when I typed it. That's why Facebook got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't type it.
Bitches.
You can say it.
Yeah.
If you type it, it's
Well,
like-
I wasn't on the show. I was making
In the
comments,
chat,
and
yeah.
I typed in Roseanne. And Keith goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that. White Trash Christmas is great." And then all of a sudden, I'm off of Facebook. 30 days.
Yeah, they
So-
booted him for saying white trash.
Really?
Yeah, because it's title of the episode, but it just
I
it's
didn't even
their
say it. I
Autobot.
typed it out. It was just a comment
Yeah.
on the bottom of the screen, and they
That's
caught
how
it.
they found it. That's how they
Yeah.
found it. Back in the day, Night Court used to be one that I used to love their Christmas episodes way back when. And those are what I always look forward to, aside from the cartoons that I was a kid and I loved. But it was the TV specials. And I don't think a lot of them really have that special of an episode anymore, which they used to. Amazing. The really big ones were like, for me, the Amazing Stories, Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. They had some of the best Christmas episodes out
Well, I
there.
tell you now, before your guys' time,
Not mine.
because I'm older than all of you.
Not
Well, a
much.
while ago, Keith said Anthony was younger than everyone else on the panel. I was going to say Lenny looks younger than him. But Andy Williams and the Osmond family used to do Christmas specials every year, and they were actually good.
The
I
variety
was a
show
young kid.
specials.
I was a young kid watching that, but
I've never heard of that.
if I watch it now, I probably fall asleep on it. But
You would, but the variety shows did. Carol Burnett did some on there. They used to have like a lot of talk shows did special. That came on for a primetime Christmas special and stuff. Rosie O'Donnell, even though people hate her now, she had some great Christmas specials when she did them, and those were really cool. There was so much on TV to try to pull you into the spirit, and with as depressing as the holidays get, and they get worse, bring that shit back. Bring these Christmas specials back. Bring back different
Yes,
stuff
they
and
ought to show
celebrations.
the old
They're
stuff.
they're trying.
But the thing is, it's like
24/7 A Christmas Story.
That makes you want a Red Ryder BB gun.
I know.
it's like Turner has bought rights to everything, so he doesn't show anything on TV anymore, and it's so weird. But
Yeah.
something I haven't seen on TV because I don't have cable right now. I just got the antenna TV, and it's the question that comes around this year, every year: is Die Hard a Christmas?
Here it comes again.
I don't know. I've never
Ah.
seen it.
You've never
You've
seen
never
Die
seen
Hard?
Die Hard?
Oh, I've seen Die Hard.
No, but Anthony
I
hasn't.
own all the Die Hards because what is his name in the movie?
John McClane.
John McClane. Thank you very much. Yes.
I buy
So,
buy my movies based on the similarity of last name of the characters to myself as well, so I get that.
Yes.
Uh,
But it came up. It was on Facebook the other day. They were like, "So is Die Hard a Christmas movie?"
no,
I said, "Well,
No.
I said it happened around Christmas. I
It is
said it
a-
had to do with Christmas."
it is a
No.
movie that takes place on Christmas,
Right.
Yes.
but the spirit is not involved aside from it taking place on Christmas. But I do understand the wanting to watch
The Christmas movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jingle All the Way.
Yes. that was entertaining.
That was an entertaining one. The second one
I
sucked.
haven't
Is
seen
that
it.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Schwarzenegger and
With
Sinbad.
the that everyone's trying
Yeah.
to get.
Uh huh.
the Turbo Man. The Turbo Man doll. Elena says she hasn't seen Die Hard either. Well, you're a millennial, Elena. We figured you hadn't
What the
seen
hell
it.
is wrong with that little girl?
You got it. You got to broaden. You got to broaden. But that's, you know what? What she brings up is a great example of what I'm talking about too. With these, she hasn't seen a lot of these movies because they don't show them. They're not events anymore to these people. They're not things that get you in the spirit,
That's right.
Well, I don't
and
know.
they're not things that.
So even if they had it, I wouldn't see it.
Well, that's because it's not normal anymore. Like it used to be a normal thing to
Cable
do.
TV anymore.
Right. Well, people still do. Even if they wanted to, Netflix could say these 2 hours we're streaming a special live event to watch it. They could do something similar for those that want to see it because those really help put you in the mood, not just because of their theme, because of the gathering to watch them. Especially when you have the kids and they create the memories. You didn't do any of that as a kid, Anthony. You're not that much younger than us.
Oh no, I did, but I'm just saying in today's day and age, like if I want to go watch a Christmas movie, I just go on Netflix and there's a whole category that says Christmas movies.
And
I
what's
just
the
go
problem with that,
watch
though?
it.
You're watching it alone.
Well, that's because I live alone.
Right.
If there was someone that lived with me, I'd watch it with them.
Believe me,
Get you a
having
bo-
people live with you doesn't necessarily work because that's the thing.
Get you
is
a
they got
bottle
their
of
thing.
Prozac and start playing "Baby It's Cold Outside" on the radio.
Elena's turned on closed captioning for you, Anthony. You're too quiet.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were really loud
yeah.
at the start, and then somehow you got really quiet.
I'll turn it back up, I guess.
Oh, you did it, you bitch.
Yeah, he did it. He was trying to watch the movie.
Is this better? Do you still need closed captioning?
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
much better.
It is, but no. Like Elena says, she hasn't seen this stuff, and that's the problem with the streaming movie, the streaming ideas, and putting it on the streaming networks. And if you choose to watch it, because Elena's never likely going to search for Die Hard to watch Die Hard. Elena's never gonna likely search for what's the other one she had, A Christmas Story, to watch A Christmas Story.
Never seen that one either.
It had to be put in your face almost like, here it is, it's an event, get together, watch it. And it created something, and it got you in the mood to put up a tree. Like you said, Lenny, how many people have put up a tree this year?
I did.
How many? Yeah, I'm getting ready to. I planned on having it by now, but I didn't yet.
I don't see a point in putting up a tree.
My actually the tree lot I go to is not there this year. I went to do it and it wasn't there, and I wasn't about to go hunting one down, so I
again,
Well, I should have had it last
West Branch, government property.
They said
you know
no
what the thing is, though?
trespassing. It was called the McLean
It does
rule.
not say that.
The
It
McLean
does not say that. The wire's already cut. You just walk in on the backside. Now, I didn't put up a tree because I don't have a cat. I gave my cat to my daughter because my daughter lost her cat, and sooner or later I move out of here. I'm not going to be able to take cat with me where I go. But I don't have a cat here to knock all the shit off the tree. Which, I don't know if Keith, you saw that post I put up. It says, when you really love the Christmas time, but you have 3 cats,
Yes,
and the people
I
have
saw
their
that. A cage
they have their
around the
Christmas tree encased. Yes.
That's funny.
Okay,
That was
Elena
good.
says, much better. Thank you for asking, Anthony. Your volume has definitely improved. Thank you for making Elena happy on that.
Well, now I need to turn it back down.
Oh,
I
our
don't
goal
like-
is to piss off Elena, right?
Yeah,
I was like,
it's just entertaining for me.
yeah, but everybody else wants to hear you too, and so do I.
Well, fine, I'll do it for you then.
That's better. Definitely watch A Christmas Story, though. At least if you've never seen it once, just don't get into it. But yeah, if you don't search
You
for it, you
can-
don't get in the mood. How many people are just sit there and nothing Christmas related around their house right now?
I got a little ceramic tree on top of my compact fridge in the kitchen that you plug it in, it lights up.
I have a Christmas tree in the basement still. I don't take it down.
I was gonna say, I know you have a Christmas tree. At
I
your
do. I
house.
have one. Yeah, I have one in my
You go to
basement.
Kathy's house, she keeps her Christmas lights up year round. So
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
that's
Oh,
handy.
there's a
not my
guy there's a guy that's west of Ryan on Lincoln, and you go down through there, and the guy has Clark Griswold and Tim the Toolman Taylor have nothing on this guy because he's got a 2.5 lots and has every Christmas fucking plastic piece of shit you can ever think of sitting out in his yard. And I mean, unfucking believable. There is 50,000 fucking lights on his house where
I've
you
seen
can't
it.
see his house. And I was like, holy shit. So I just messaged Kathy last night. I said, hey, did you go by and see if the guy put the shit out this year? She goes, what are you talking about? I said, the guy down on Frazo. So, oh my gosh, no, I didn't. I got to go see. So I don't know if she went tonight or not to see, but he had so much stuff. When you went by there, all right, so because it's plastic, it wasn't super bright. But once you got up on top of it and got close to it, it was like you're driving by there and you're taking a look and you're going, holy fucking shit. And trying to count it, you couldn't count it.
I imagine not.
I mean, there was like, so snowmen of the same kind, 50 of them. Santa Claus was 100 of them. Fucking reindeer and Santa Claus, there was 30 of them. And they're all packed in his yard and all around his house and everything. And I just
What
just
makes
sat there, I
that
said,
somebody want to do it to that extent?
well, I
What
told
makes you
Kathy,
not?
when we went to go
It's
see it, I
expensive.
said, we need to run up there and look at his electric meter and take a video of it because I know his electric meter was going,
I mean,
It's-
that's expensive to buy the stuff. Expensive
No,
to
no,
turn
no,
on.
no. See, that's ridiculous. It's expensive for me to run a pool, and I do it every year. And that's expensive as hell.
you buy stuff off time.
Yeah,
You could
right.
Yeah.
go to
You go
If
every
you
year
go to,
at the
um,
end of the year.
and
And
it's
You
Ace
save
Hardware.
it, you add to it every year.
my thing is,
Ace
where the
Hardware
fuck do
after
you
beginning of the
store all
year?
of that?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
they
that's
got
the
LED
question.
lights in there for a buck.
the money is one thing, but where the fuck do you store it?
People are
between
coming
the
over for
holidays?
Easter and stuff. Like, where do I
Yeah.
sit? You're like behind the tree underneath
Yeah.
the snowman. You know? There's a seat open
Well,
over
when we-
there.
I got
When
a
we were-
40-yard
we
shipping
first saw
container for
him-
all my Christmas shit that I store.
Yeah. When we first saw him for Christmas, we went the next year to see if he did the same thing on Halloween, which would have
Did
been
he?
great. I
Melly
would have loved it though. If he would have had a ton of shit out there on Halloween, I would have stopped and I would have stopped and said, "Hey, here's $50 for your electric bill, buddy."
So, Bill, have you been through Tilson Street for Halloween?
Melikimaka is
Romeo?
a
Say it again, honey.
Tilson
Hold on, we're
Street,
watching Christmas.
I can't hear you. They're talking.
They're singing. But Tilson Street
It's
for
one of my
Halloween.
favorite scenes.
Mhm.
Romeo?
Chilson Street.
Tilson Street in
Where's
Romeo.
that at?
Romeo
No.
It's
for Halloween.
yeah, it's Van
That's
Dyke
the-
and it's like right off of Van Dyke
It's
up in
right
Romeo.
in Romeo. But it's the best
I don't think
Halloween.
so.
It's the you.
They do Halloween, yeah. It's an awesome event to go
It's
to. It's just the whole
better than
street.
any-
Well-
yeah, it's better than any
So-
Halloween thing I've ever seen.
What makes people want to do that, Lenny?
It started with one
'Cause they're
person, and then
weirdos.
it became,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what
I
makes
would've-
people want to do it.
I would have moved.
So there's a street called Logue, and
Logue?
it's off of Little Mac in 10 Mile area. And it's where my daughter used to live. So Halloween, these people, it's a dead end street. Everyone on the street decorates their house for Halloween. And the trees from side to side, these people shoot cobwebs all the way across.
You got to
String
check
it
out
all the way
Tilson
across.
Street.
So
You gotta
you're driving
look-
through a tunnel.
Yeah,
And they have dummies that are alive that jump out for motion.
yeah.
And for a little short, I mean, it's 2 blocks, but for those 2 blocks, it's fucking awesome.
It's probably very similar to Tilson then, because that's what
Yeah.
Tilson really is, and it's incredible how far they go out. Well, speaking of decorations, Lenny, because you said what makes you want to do that, do you think that the people are not putting enough up decorations, or do you think it's overkill to have them anymore? Because I don't see as many decorations as I used to in houses.
No, I think it's fun going from house to house, but I just wondered what makes somebody want to fill, 2 lots.
I think it's just,
full
well,
of stuff.
like they were saying, I think it's collecting it every year, and you don't want to not reuse something that you pay good money for, and you're going to add something new to it, and eventually what you become, like Bill's saying, it's a staple of the area, and you remember it, and so in a sense, you want to please your crowd, too. Like, you realize that people are now looking forward to
You're
your...
bringing Christmas
displays.
cheer to the whole area.
What I don't like though is when they start putting Christmas up, before Halloween.
Oh, I agree. I don't think it should go up till after Thanksgiving. Personally,
Yeah,
December
all
6th,
of
but
a
at least
sudden you start-
Thanksgiving.
all the Christmas stuff is before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
People forget, like, the Macy's Day Parade was supposed to kick off Christmas. That was
Yes.
the point. You waited till then. Macy's Day was supposed to kick
That's why you saw
off.
Santa.
Yep, for the first time all year. You see, and then the
Okay.
stores got
Speaking of
ready.
Santa, how many of you have sat on Santa's lap as a kid? as a kid.
I've
Last
sat
year
on
they
Santa's
banned me
lap
from the
as
mall.
a grown man.
I know, that's why I said as a kid,
Yeah.
because I
No,
figured one of you would.
Oh, I
one
definitely
year-
have.
But
When I
One
was a
year,
kid,
me, my
definitely.
brother, and my sister decided to go take a picture with Santa and put it in a frame and give it to my mom for Christmas.
aw.
We were all in our 20s.
But do
It's-
you remember being a kid sitting on Santa's lap? I
No.
don't.
I
but
absolutely
I probably
do.
have.
At the mall, and
Well,
I was 6 years old, and somehow got my hand stuck in his fake beard. And when I jumped down,
it came off.
it went with me.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God, you ripped the beard off Santa. Traumatized
then-
so many
Yes.
kids. That's
Like,
why people
well-
today hate Christmas. Because
So he had
Bill
the,
fucked up the
elastic-
illusion of Santa.
Damn it, Bill.
He had the elastic going in the back, and whenever I came down and his beard came off, his hat flew off and his wig flew off. And he was actually a Hispanic gentleman. So, yeah.
So Elena says
My mom used
Christmas
to tell
starts on November 1st in your bank. Why November 1st? I mean, just because it's the day after Halloween and it's done. That's earlier than I think most people like it to start. Most people say
It
December,
starts
day
on
after Thanksgiving.
So, Elena,
Okay, this-
do you celebrate Thanksgiving, or do you just go right to Christmas from Halloween?
Well, in fairness to the comment, I remember going over to my aunt's house and stuff during these holidays, and people were decorated for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And in a sense, their decorations were Christmas as well.
See, I've got one girlfriend. It's all Thanksgiving, and then she takes it all down, and then it's all Christmas.
I
The
don't like
fault-
Thanksgiving decorations anyway. Like, I'd rather see Christmas decorations. Thanksgiving's
Yeah.
boring.
The fault of the Christmas decorations coming out too early is all on Ace Hardware. Because
They
every
did.
year, Ace Hardware, they put their Christmas shit out a week earlier every freaking year. So next year, they're going to have their Christmas stuff out on 4th of July, and I'm going to shoot a store. So
All right.
Don't
Well,
say
we'll know
that.
who's responsible when it appears on the news. Lena says, yes, I celebrate Thanksgiving, but only for one day. Well, that's when most of us celebrate Thanksgiving. Is that one day
2 days.
on there. So, 2 days.
2 days.
The day before you celebrate, and then the day of.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I got the Wednesday before
Or
Thanksgiving at
the
the bar.
day
That means
of,
I got to see
and
my
then the
family
day
tomorrow. I'm
after.
getting shit faced.
That's celebrating Thanksgiving in your own special way.
No, that's trying to be
Well, you
hungover, drunk,
celebrate
and not want to deal with
Thanksgiving
family
and
the
then you
next day.
recover on Friday. I'm gonna celebrate Thanksgiving. I'm getting drunk and then I'm gonna sleep all day tomorrow.
So, Elena, out of curiosity, right now, is your house decorated for Christmas? And has it been since November 1st or since shortly into November? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, so
For some reason this year, everybody's been giving me shit for not decorating Christmas.
Oh,
It's
I thought you were
because-
going to say they were giving you shit for Christmas. I was like, oh.
I've been offered. I was offered a Christmas tree, and I said I have two. I just
Just haven't put them up.
I haven't brought them to my house yet. They're still at my mom's
Okay,
from before I
so-
moved.
When do you think it's appropriate to take the Christmas tree down?
January 6th.
And why January 6th?
It's
January
a
6th.
very specific date.
Well, you can take it down any day you want after Christmas. There's no appropriate day, I don't think.
January 6th.
Why that?
Shut
day?
up.
Why?
Before I tell you. November 1st, the tree went up. Wow, Elena, okay. I was like... At least let Halloween cool down a little bit, girl. I was like,
Right into Christmas.
right into it. No, it's just a day. It's pretty much a week, almost a week after New Year's, down by the 7th. You know, it's so that when you're in a week into
Why
New
is that?
Year's, because it's a weekend. It gives you a week to still enjoy it and not have to suddenly work directly after New Year's and stuff like that. Relax for the week. People have time
Okay, so
off.
if
Don't
you
spend
put
it
your
working.
if you put your tree up on November 1st, you haven't enjoyed it enough to not take it down the day after Christmas.
Well, we also said my start date is December 6th.
Well, and I get what
Well,
I get.
I
what
was
you're
talking about
saying,
when,
too,
because she just said November 1st. So
Yeah.
Yeah. December
Now,
6th
does
was
it
just...
matter? Does it matter when you take it down, whether
It's a nice
it's a
Christmas
live tree or artificial?
Oh, you got a picture of it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see it. I want to see it.
Oh, it went away.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Freaking Snapchat shit. Okay.
The point in time that you take your tree down, does it matter if it's artificial or if it's real?
I don't think it matters. I mean, obviously, you don't want to keep it up too long if it's real.
I get what you're saying though, Keith, because normally during the holidays you're moving around leading up into it, so you finally get to just take a break and then get back to working on shit.
Yeah, that's the way you typically have always seen it.
But that's why if you never put a tree up, you never have to take it down.
That's right.
Bah humbug, bitches.
See, I'm thinking.
You should definitely have a tree. Even if you're alone, you should have something.
So beside the ceramic
if I had
one,
people
I
over my
have.
house. If I had people over my house and like I'd have people over for the holidays, then I would decorate. I might get a tree. I might get some other shit. But why am I gonna do it? I go elsewhere and there's Christmas decorations I can look at. I don't have to
There
do
you
anything
go.
myself.
And I
So-
disagree with that. I think it's important, especially when you're living alone, to not... I'm sorry, to not forget the holiday is there. To not
there's
isolate yourself
no
from the
way.
celebrating world. That's my personal opinion, obviously.
There is no way that I don't know
So,
Christmas time is here.
I have a question for Bill. So
Yes.
you said you have your daughter, right? And
Yes.
did you do anything when she was a little kid to kind of secretly how did you present the Santa thing the night before? Did she have to go to bed at a certain time? Did you put out cookies and things like that?
When my daughter was little, all right. So we took her to see Santa. She was actually really good going to see Santa, even though she was like, give him the eyeball at first. And after the 2 times, and after that, she was good. But so with her, with Santa, because
Like
her
to
mom
hide
was
the
an idiot,
gifts.
we did the thing. No, we put all the gifts under the trees and stuff, but not the Santa gifts,
Uh-huh.
So the Santa gifts, I had 3 very large dogs that had their crates downstairs. And I finished my basement off downstairs at the point in time. I lived in East Point over there. And I finished the basement off so the dogs couldn't get to certain areas. And we put the locks on the doors. So the Santa gifts were always down there
Okay.
for her
So
and
she
her
didn't know.
stepbrothers. So
Did they
she
have
didn't
to go
know.
to bed early and they couldn't
So
wake up? Like, how did
going
you
to
get
bed
Santa
early
gifts
was
under the
yes,
tree
yes,
before
yes
they
at
woke up?
first. And it was yes, yes, yes at first because we would wrap presents. But then as she got a little older, it was no, screw this shit because they're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Right.
Bill kept them up until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, so I could sleep.
So that you could
Then
sleep
they
in,
went to
so
sleep.
that they would sleep in. Yeah.
Yes, and
And
they
I
had
think
no
that's
alarm clocks or anything. That way I could sleep until 8 o'clock.
and
And
you two when you were little kids, like when was it? Did you like milk the whole Santa thing so you got those extra gifts?
I didn't. I mean, maybe as a really, really
I
little
did.
kid, but I don't remember. Like when I was very naive and just totally Santa's real, asking for everything. Maybe I did, but I never did. I was one who knew how hard my mom worked for my gifts. I was actually me and my brother were talking the other day about Christmas and how the gifts you got. Like my mom would put together out of spare parts she found and build our own bikes and take them to her work in the body shop and have them paint them. And it was used items. She did so much. And I think nowadays, I don't know how many kids are accepting of stuff like that because everybody is so like, it's crap. And how it's got to feel as a
Hmm.
parent to have to struggle so hard and worry your kids might not like the gift because it's manually put together from old parts. And will they make fun of you? Because kids are assholes nowadays about a lot of things. They really
Oh
are.
yeah, because what they see, what their other friends got, and everything. See, I'm kind of like Keith. So until I was 9 years old, I slept on a couch. We lived down one street off of 8 Mile in Hazel Park, and my dad and the local guy who did the garbage, they went into business. He picked up bikes in the garbage. All right, and my dad and him rebuilt the bikes, and that's how my dad got the money to buy the house that I'm sitting in right now. So when I was young, I was happy with what I got. Don't get me wrong. When at that point in time, when we moved, when I was 9 years old, my dad got a raise at Ford Motor Company. Now, even back then, we're talking about in '72, it wasn't the biggest money in the world, but for that point in time, it was good money.
Mhm.
And the only things that I always remember was that I never went without at Christmas time or anything like that. And my mom got whatever she wanted. My dad made it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is one of the best things in the world. If you go on my Facebook page, I talked about my dad and I laid it out. I said he wasn't just the man. He wasn't just a man. He was the man to me,
Yes.
And the man buying and selling bikes to save up enough money to make a down payment on a house. And not only that, but when we lived down in that house, which was 2-bedroom house, my little brother was born. His crib was in my mom and dad's bedroom. My sister shared a bedroom. And we had point in time that moved 2 different friends in the area into the house to stay there for a while because they were being molested by their fathers.
Oh.
So we had extra people in there. That was my dad at that point in time. But I never went without, but I never asked for anything really big. But I
Right.
mean, like, whenever I got older, my father and I went in on cars. We went in on trucks because he taught me how to be a mechanic. He said, we can buy this. You can fix it. Because my dad was still working at Ford Motor
Yeah.
Company. He goes, you're not doing anything after school. You come out here, fix it. I'll help you whenever I get home. We'll fix it. We'll sell it. We'll make money.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and we did that for years.
Yeah. So Anthony, how about you? Did you confess about the Santa thing to your parents, or did you milk it?
Oh, my
for a
mom
while?
didn't care. She knew we knew, and we would joke about it because she would still label some of the presents from Santa.
I still do that today
And we
for
knew-
adults.
We knew exactly, and we were like, "Oh, what did Santa get us this year?"
When you were a little
She didn't
kid,
care. No,
did you
when
guys have a chimney? Did you have
Yeah.
a chimney? Did you, Keith? Did
Yeah,
have a
no.
chimney?
No.
See, I didn't either, and I was so worried because we had no chimney. How was Santa?
No,
gonna
my
get
mom
into
actually
my
left the front
house?
door unlocked for that reason.
See,
She-
when I was little, my parents told me he was magic and could walk through walls.
Oh.
That works. That works. Why would you
But I
want to
tell
go? Beautiful red suit. Why would you want to go down that dirty fucking chimney anyway? I mean,
Right.
I was like,
And down south, they have raccoons up in the chimneys. How does they get a fight with that guy?
Yeah, I was like, you'll hear about it.
We
I mean,
used to do
How do you think it
Whenever-
all started
Up.
with that?
Fried Pussycat coming up.
Always.
One of my favorite visuals.
we would have a party,
Elena says,
and
my mom. Oh,
Go ahead.
no, just really quick. My mom still writes from Santa and Gifts 925. Like I said, I do too. There's the Fried Pussycat. Okay. I was like, and
Fried pussycat. What is that?
National Lampoon's.
yeah. You get the image of the pussycat. You know, I'm not for animal cruelty at all because I love animals, but
No,
that
but
is one of the
funny.
funniest fucking scenes on there. That cat had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
I love when they're sitting down. All right, say Grace. Grace.
She died years ago. The blessing. But yeah, me and Bill, we have similar, and mine was my mother over my father, and that was the same thing. And she would go all out for it. And it meant so much to her, and it was always about making your kids happy, but she never let that go away. And to go back to Anthony and decorating, and not just directly to you, but it is important because, first of all, for me, and you haven't lost people in your life necessarily, you have family to go over to that have decorated their houses, you were saying, and stuff. But it's to think my mom would be proud of this tree. My mom will be proud of what I did. And even more importantly, that we forget, I'm proud of the tree. I look at it and I did this. I did this on my own. You know, and it's something that is worth celebrating. Sometimes we forget we talk about being alone, and being alone sometimes acting like you're not special. And you can still do things for yourself, and you can still do things to please yourself and maybe put a little pep in your step, because the holiday disappears when there's nothing around in your own home to remind you. And that is sometimes where a lot of depression comes from people. And what makes them really sad, because there's nothing around them except for their own thoughts. And when you don't have anything happy in your life, you think sad. And when you think sad, you get depressed. It can lead to the worst things. How many people... Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, the...
Keith, just
Yeah.
to save you from the sticker shock, all right, just so you know, all right, so there is a shortage of Christmas trees, and Christmas trees are up 125% on price.
Yeah, there is a shortage, I heard.
I'll still buy it.
So-
I gotta have a real tree. I love the smell.
Yeah.
I love it all. I gotta have a real tree.
And I don't blame you there, because, I mean, that was always what I wanted to do. But like I said, $35 trees, you know, that you got last year, or $40 trees that you got last year are now $100.
That
you know,
scares me
stuff like
more
that,
because
so.
the last few years I paid $70 to $100 for my trees.
Right, so if you get a bigger tree, then it's still up. So
Yeah,
again,
so that
West
scares me
Branch,
more.
you just drive right up there, all right? And like I said, there's an opening in the fence. You just have to be fast. You'll be all right.
Well, I'm gonna get my saw because there's a place by me that lets you cut them down, and if you do it yourself, it's like $40. Pick whatever one you want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They have
Or
pre-cut ones.
I
Depending
can-
on how much those are, if I see one nice, I might take one of those. But
I can lend you my Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
I have one.
It's sitting over there, and it's never going to leave me.
No.
Kathy yelled at me the other day. She says, "You're not here, and I don't have the Charlie Brown Christmas tree sitting on my island." I said, "It ain't going to happen this day."
I like my Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but I think it's important to get into it. We're gonna obviously do this again on Wednesday. It's going to be part 2, and we're going to probably delve a little bit more into the serious aspects of Christmas for people, because I know Wednesday shows are typically our deeper topics, and we want to hit some, because I don't want anybody out there, anybody watching right now, don't let the holidays take you to a point of no return. You know, too many people, like I said, too many people get depressed, too many people get sad, too many people will take their own lives this time of year. And it's all because they don't feel there's anybody else in their life. And they're disappointed in what's going around. And there's always somebody there, and we're always here. So we're going to delve more into that on Wednesday.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, as Keith knows, so I'm 58 years old. I am the original Prozac kid. I was one of the very first people in Michigan to get Prozac. Okay? If you're feeling depressed, you go see your doctor. You do whatever you have to do. Prozac works. All right? Go get yourself a bottle of Prozac and watch the heat mice and the cold mice, or you'll be happy.
Do something. But you know what,
But I'm
Bill?
serious. I'm
Bill,
serious.
you just put it into perspective what I was saying too. The reason to have these holiday specials, to have these things on TV because they do. They can put you in a mood, whether you want to be in that mood or not. They
Yeah.
can help you out.
Turn
You
off
have to
the
find
news
something.
and put Rudolph
I mean,
on.
you
Right.
can find something new, but if you can find something old that was your favorite, it will make you happy. It doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are, whatever. You can find something that's your favorite. You watch it, it'll make you happy.
Mhm.
Hence what's going on behind me. It's the same thing. And whether it's a movie, whether it's a
That's
special.
porn up there now. Have you looked? Turn around and look. That's porn up there. So,
I literally can see
um,
my own picture, so I see exactly what's behind
I
me.
just want to say I'm disappointed that we
Why?
never got together with a green screen again this year.
Yeah, we didn't do the Christmas. Hey, that was on Josh. He kept saying he wanted to do it. I said, you let me know when because he's the one with the odd schedule.
Yeah.
I'll do it. It just can't be on the days I work, and he still hasn't. We're going to do it again. Maybe next year we can have Lenny come join us, too, because Lenny's a great singer, too, and she could do some songs.
What's the green screen?
Our Christmas special last year, where we
Oh.
did all the different Christmas music videos. We didn't really have a Christmas show this year. I couldn't get people together the same that I could last year. Like I said, it was a lot easier last year. Most people that were on this show had nothing going, and now it's a lot harder for them to do anything.
And the one I wanted to tell you before I forget is there is an app called Elf Yourself. All right? And you put the app on your phone, and you could put yours and your friends' pictures on these elves, and they
Oh.
dance around and have a good
Oh,
time,
I've
whether
seen
they're
that.
in a office thing. And seriously, you want to make someone smile? Put that app on your phone and put your friend's face on these elves. And
I wonder
then
if
tag
Reface
them in
has
it when you
anything like
post it.
that.
Oh, I'm sure I do.
Reface is a good app for stuff like that, too. They have a lot of pre-selected clips, and I'm sure they have Christmas stuff out there.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with Reface.
Yeah, we do. I love Reface. But yeah, I mean, it's a holiday to enjoy. It's a holiday to try to have fun. People really hate like Christmas music. I get hating Christmas music in October and November. I don't get the hatred towards it towards December. I don't get how you cannot like something that is pretty much its sole purpose is to bring joy and happiness. And it's not like you're bombarded like you used to be. It's not like.
But they take the songs off. They take the songs off. Maybe It's Cold Outside is a great song for Christmas time.
Yeah, I still sing that one. I love that song.
I do
It's
so-
because somebody interpreted
Just
rapey. And
It's stupid.
it can be. I mean, I get what people are saying with it, but don't get rid of it. That's your own interpretation. The song's been around for a while, and I have not yet still heard of a case where somebody was charged with rape and they said, well, Dean Martin and Martina McBride made me do it. Or, whoever happened to do it, Ray Charles, everybody's done that song. That
Yes, and I
Baby
could
It's
put
Cold.
my Kiss album on a turntable and run it backwards. It says, I am the devil. I am the devil. I am the devil. It's that bullshit. So,
Yeah. That's what it is. It's not a hidden message. You taking what you want from it. Say what's in this drink. That was one of the big lines that said, say what's in this drink means somebody roofied you. No, when the song was written, it was because people got to, wow, what's in this? Like, what alcohol is in this?
Yeah, it's a stiff
What
drink.
is so strong?
They're
Right. It
getting
did not
drunk
mean,
together.
did you roofie my drink? Did you put something in it? And that's where people get out of hand with that shit. It's ridiculous. Santa Baby, stuff like that. Isn't allowed because it's materialistic and it's putting women in a bad light.
Yeah,
No,
but,
it's a Christmas song.
but wet ass pussy is in the fucking. That's a wholesome song, and
Oh yeah, absolutely, totally fine, totally fine, totally.
Why? Really, Santa Baby?
Yeah,
What's wrong with that?
it's the fact that she wants to be bought materialistically, and that's all women are looking for: diamond rings and cars and.
And it
new
runs
house.
into the fact of how many different women have redone it
Oh,
and been there with it. So,
Yeah, and these songs they're good songs, and again, that
didn't
goes
Jenny
to society
McCarthy
now.
redo it? Jenny
I think
McCarthy
she did. I
redid
think
it?
Jenny McCarthy
Yeah.
did. Yeah. It's been done by, I know Eartha Kitt did it. I know Madonna did it. I know there's a few other ones that have done. A lot have done it. The biggest ones was Eartha, Madonna, and I believe you're right, it's Jenny McCarthy, but I'm not 100% on that. But I think you're right.
Well, just like they went after Pink when she did "Beam Me Up," which is an awesome song. I mean, really good song. And they, went after her and said, "Oh, is this like, you're trying to promote suicide and shit like that?" it has nothing to do with it. It doesn't even say anything like that.
Aww. Aww.
She's getting antsy.
And that's and Pink of all artists, Pink is one to pay attention. Like her song "Perfect" is really about suicide too, and it is one of the most
Right.
beautiful songs to pull you out of there ever. And she faces those things, and that's what a lot of artists don't do. They don't face it because they're afraid of the backlash. And I get a lot of respect for Pink and her songs and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
love her.
that. There's the Who Knew one is about death and losing people. There's so many, and then she's got her fun ones too, as well. But Pink is one. Is there a favorite Christmas song you do have? I am so tired of All I Want for Christmas Is You, but other than that,
Yeah, Santa Baby. That's
Santa
why I was
Baby
like,
is your
what's wrong with
favorite?
Santa Baby. And Baby It's Cold Outside. Those two. Oh, there's a lot of them.
The Christmas song.
the Christmas song is yours.
That's
The
roasting
music
on a
that
fire.
plays, the music that plays in the movie Santa versus the Martians.
I do not. I know we talked about that last year, actually.
That's old black and white.
Yeah, I don't know the music though. I don't know which song that is. Elena, by the way, says
I don't
no
even know
one
what the
said
music
WAP.
is. It's just the music plays in the background.
WAP was a wholesome song. A woman wrote a rap in the same style a lot of men do. The men never got shit for it, but the woman does. And it's all we're doing is reversing a double standard, Elena.
Well,
and
yes,
that's true.
I understand that men do it, but in regards to Santa Baby being sang by a woman and not being acceptable to some people, and that written by women was the point I was making. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to compare it to a man rapping because personally I think that's all the same shit. But
It's just the song in general. You know, just what you allow a song. Mariah Carey is actually one of my favorite Christmas, because her version of like "Joy to the World" is one of my all-time favorites. I actually really like Mariah Carey's Christmas album. I just hate that "All I Want for Christmas Is You" song because people think that's the only song she ever wrote for Christmas, and she has a great Christmas album. But my favorite is still like Mannheim Steamroller or Trans-Siberian Orchestra, like the orchestral "Carol of the Bells" by Trans-Siberian or Mannheim is like one of my favorites.
Bing Crosby, the Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah.
The one with David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of my. I wanted to get Anthony to do that.
That is
last year on our
just
Christmas
just
one.
the fact. Well, first with the fact that the two of them sang that together, you know.
Yeah, because they were it was the generational gap that they brought together. It was no
Yes.
different than Elton and Eminem when they did theirs and stuff like that. Like different
Yeah.
songs. When you bring those generations together, you get such a great
Bing
sound.
Crosby, David Bowie, Little Drummer Boy was like, yeah,
Yeah,
I still
That's-
listen to it.
I still do too. Santa Claus Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen is one I really, really like. I like his version of that.
wonderful Christmas
Right.
time.
Robin Williams doing
Everybody's
Elmer
least
Fudd
favorite
singing
Christmas
Bruce
song.
Springsteen.
That's complicated, but just complicated enough to be good. Sleigh Ride is one that I love listening to. I love listening to the song Sleigh Ride. I don't care if it's the instrumental or the vocal
Which
version.
sleigh ride?
I said I don't
Sleigh
care
Ride?
which one, whether it's instrumental or vocal. Glenn Miller typically is the one I really like. And was it the Crystals or Ronettes? One of the old Motown groups that I really like. I always forget which one it was.
So there's a death metal band that sings the song Sleigh
That's
Ride.
not the one
That's
I
why
was talking
asking.
about. Oh, I know it. Never mind. I know what you're talking about now. No, not
It's
that
not.
one. It's not
Yeah.
SLEIGH. It's like- All right. Well, that's good. I think we've done pretty good for the most part of the evening. So thank
Oh,
you
we
for
got a
being
half
on
hour
the
to go.
show.
We got a half hour to go.
I thought this was only an hour. We're a half hour over, Bill.
Yeah.
Hey. You're not
Sundays
in
are between
charge,
an hour and an hour and a half because usually I had to go to work. So Sundays were always shorter.
but you don't have to. So
I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get Sundays back. Because
I got on my Elmer Fudd Russian rabbit hat. So I mean, you know,
But you
we
can't
got.
see it because it's so dark where you're at.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm sitting in the dark. So I'm at my mom's house. So in case you guys, you two probably don't know. I think Keith knows. So health is in probate. I finally got my sister out of the fucking house. So I'm keeping the bills low. So actually the TV's going on in front of me. I just watched The Hombre, which was Paul Newman, and something else is on. So every once in a while when you see this change, the lighting, it's the change in the TV.
It's the TV.
Oh.
So it's like flip, flap, flap.
Elena says, "What? Why aren't you working Sundays?" Well, they moved their time to 8 o'clock for a long time, which interfered with this, and this was more important. It was really taken off for a little bit and had a lot of people involved, and I didn't want to give this up, and I wasn't going to switch times or stop doing this because it affected a lot of people. And the reason why I want to do it again, the reason why I'm taking two parts about being alone on the holidays, is I've told the story before, and I still have it. I've run into people now, about 5 different people, 3 of them were during the holidays, that literally just came up, gave me a huge hug, said, "You saved my life in one way or another because of this show."
Wow.
Because they had somebody to talk to, because they didn't feel like they were alone. And I don't care if it was just one person, that was enough. Because, again, you should not ever feel alone and you have nobody else. There's always somebody there. There's always somebody to talk to, always somebody to, look up to, reach out to, or be there for. How many people have invited somebody they've never invited to Christmas, or don't usually, this year? Starts with us.
Well, I didn't
Sometimes
invite
it's
anyone, but some guy on Facebook with a dysfunctional party or whatever, he invited me, so I'll
There
take
is
that
the
as that,
dysfunctional
so.
party. But you know what? It
Um,
does start with us. We do these shows and we talk
I just
about
want to know
this.
if the Misfit toys are going to be at the party.
Depends on what your version of Misfit toys are, Bill the King.
Well, I'm talking about Rudolph and the Misfit toys. So,
I know you too well. But it does start with us. And, maybe it doesn't hurt to reach out to somebody we haven't talked to. We haven't seen in a long time. And even if we're going to somebody else's house, ask that person, can we invite somebody and reach out to them? Because you don't know the state other people are in sometimes, even though they seem perfectly happy. People never knew the state I was in, even though I seemed perfectly happy. Or Anthony, who's had his fair share. Or Linny, who's like a ray of
Always
sunshine.
happy.
Right, and those are the people to worry about. And Bill,
well, that's
for
the
sure.
thing is, so I learned over the years with everything I've done, and like I said, I'm one of the first people in Michigan that we started taking Prozac, and still am. Everyone in the world hides depression. It's
Yes.
when they're often alone, when bad thing happens, unfortunately. So
I agree with that, and that's what we forget. And it is worth reaching out, even if you haven't talked to them for a long time, even if because of COVID some shit went down, no matter what it is. Sometimes people are just waiting for someone else to reach out. And I know you can say, well, why aren't they reaching out? Maybe because they're a lot harder and hurting way more deep inside than you are. And maybe you have to be the strong one for them. Because if nobody reaches out, that's when you feel nobody's there. And you don't
Yeah.
matter. Elena says, I just invited an old friend to Christmas today. We got lunch after not seeing each other for a couple of years. She came out as gay and her parents aren't speaking to her. I invited her to my aunt's for Christmas Eve, and bravo, Elena. That's the things that people need to do. Nobody should feel that way. Nobody deserves to feel that way. So keep that in mind if you're watching this, if you're on this panel or anything, that everybody matters, and no matter who they are, everybody needs to know they're loved or they're cared about and that they haven't been forgotten about. So again, we will continue this same topic and show, and we'll be a little lighthearted in it, and we'll still be deep again, hopefully with the same panel returning on Wednesday. It's the day before Christmas Eve. I don't know how long that one will be, but we will definitely be returning to it. I want to thank, of course, everybody being here. Linny, I miss you so much. I always miss you so much.
Too.
And this has been our open forum show. You're not, you're never alone, because you're not. And keep that in mind. Bill, glad you could be here. I know you miss these shows more than anybody. It's been definitely an improvement.
in case you
to have
guys don't
on.
know, I aggravate the shit out of Keith about this shit. With anything going on, I text.
Oh, I hear about
What
it
the
all
hell?
time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of power. I don't give a shit. Go fucking steal from a neighbor or something. I
I've
don't care.
literally,
Get
it has
back
been
box.
lemony snickets ever since, because I was really sick for a while. And then
And
I finally was
get on
getting
him.
better.
I don't care. I mean, I have busted Keith's balls anytime that nothing going on. It's like, What the hell? Well, work schedule changed. I've been sick. Got no power. No power shit. I was like, I get ready to send the guy out there to fucking hook up his power and stuff out there at his house. And he's like, no, my whole sub is out. And stuff. So it's like, I'll take care of it.
Send you.
But I just want to say before we leave,
I'd love that.
Lenny, I have not received my Christmas present yet. I'm waiting for it. So.
Oh.
Me neither.
Should we give them some space, Keith?
I think we
have-
kind of should. Hold on, we got to give them a moment.
No! Ah! Okay. Bring it back. Group hug.
Bring it back.
Give you that moment. But yeah, it was lemony thick. At first I was without a computer, and that took way longer because I needed just nothing worked out. And then finally got the computer up ready to do it, and we lost power during the storm. I was like,
All right,
fuck.
so you and Anthony need to measure your hair, and then we're going to see who hair grew the longest between
Pretty
now
sure
and
his
Wednesday.
is longer. Oh, God.
You gotta measure it now. See who.
No, he's young. His hair grows faster.
My hair grows fast as fuck.
Not necessarily. It doesn't always work that way. I mean,
Yeah,
my
depends
hair.
what you eat.
So my hair grew down to my belt loops, and it kind of quit. And then Marlene at Universal Mall, she did my hair. She talked me into cutting my hair for the kids, right? For the cancer
I
kids.
have that. Let's see.
I was like, fine,
Yeah, I don't
let's do
have it
that.
quite. He's longer than me. Maybe not in
Oh,
the
yeah.
back. Maybe not as much, but I don't know. Lenny
Oh, wait.
wins.
Hang on. Wait. Look at Anthony. Okay, so there's this movie. There's this movie called The Two-Headed Man.
He went
He
emo on
moved it
us.
over. He looked like that guy from Two-Headed Man. But no, so Marlene had me cut my hair, and she had Channel 4 News in there when they cut my hair, which was a surprise to me. And it was for the kids. So then she cut my hair just like up to my shoulder blades, took like 16 inches off, and they trimmed off the ends and stuff. And my hair, after she cut it, grew faster than it ever did. That was when I was like 26. After that, my hair did not grow fast at all. But I think your hair gets to a certain length and it doesn't grow fast. But you're in between, and if you trim it or whatever, I think it grows faster. So I don't know.
I think it's more a comparison thing. I think because your hair is so short, you notice how far it's growing. When your hair gets really long, you don't notice that extra inch or two as it's growing. I think that's a lot of times what it is. It's just the comparison thing.
Yeah, you
because
never know that extra.
If you have an inch long, hair, you're going to notice when it's double the size at 2 inches. And Bill, you know about double that for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I am the king, and there's a reason I'm the king. So we're not going to go into that now because Lenny's here. So
yeah.
I
But
do
if you
have
have-
respect.
Oh,
so.
now you want to behave.
he's not in the chat when his face is on. There's no behaving.
When I'm sending the messages, that's different. So yeah.
That's another kind of Bill altogether. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This has actually been really nice. It's been good to talk about. I guess we got another minute because here's the end of the movie. We timed it almost perfectly.
Oh, jeez.
Have you not seen this, Lenny?
It's such a good movie.
Which movie is it?
National Lampoon's
Wow.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was on the other night.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, it's no Wizard of Oz, but
It's
it'll
no
work.
Wizard of Oz.
Thank you, everybody,
There's
for
no
being here.
Munchkins.
No Munchkins.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. It's been an awesome time. We will see you again Wednesday, hopefully with the same panel returning. If not, maybe one or two more. We'll talk about it. Remember, Christmas time. Enjoy it the best you can. Make yourself proud. You're never alone. We love to have you here.
Baby, it's cold outside.
And baby, it is
It's
getting cold outside finally.
The end. Look at that.
Yeah. And Four Christmases is great. That was a good one, too. I forgot about that one.
Baby.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Hey guys, Keith Lippin here for Ear Shoulder Voice. While you're here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow so you can be notified of all our upcoming broadcasts that we'll be bringing to you live every week. Or head on over to our brand new social network and website, earshouldervoice.com, where you can be notified of all our show schedules, suggest new topics, join others like you in a judgment-free zone, or be a guest panelist yourself. I have never seen anybody enjoy a piece of fruit out of a glass, and I just saw Linny do.
Yep.
Like,
Nice strawberry.
she was not on scene, but when she ate that thing, I have never seen a happier face in my life. She was like, "Oh, that's the stuff right
That was
there."
supposed to be my Christmas present to see that, damn it.
Well, I was over in the little screen. Can you just see me, Keith?
I'm the only one that can see the other cameras on here.
I think it was supposed to be a banana. So, yes.
Whoa!
Well, she started the banana and then it just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. And then I threw in a Tic Tac.
That's where Bill gets excited. Ooh, Tic Tacs too.
Yes!
Nothing, Bill. Wow.
I was thinking Pop Rocks, so, but yeah.
Oh, that fizz. Ooh. Getting a blowjob.
So
with
I
Pop
had the
Rocks,
girl
that
the
could be
one
good.
time. She's like, "You gonna give me a blowjob?" She goes, "I'm gonna put these Pop Rocks in my mouth and give you a blowjob." And I was like, "No, you're not."
That would be
not?
strange.
It could
And
be
she's like,
interesting.
"Why?" I said, "Because if you shove one of those into the end of my dick, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I might sock you in the teeth."
Well, I wouldn't shove them in the end of your dick, but who doesn't like jacuzzi bubbles going up every once in a while?
Well,
Could
I
feel
don't
pretty
want
good.
Listen, it's still like the whatever. What is that thing they do now? The sounding shit that I see. I was like, "God, what the hell is that? Who the hell wants to put a steel rod down your fucking penis?"
Oh.
Yeah. That's too much. I agree.
That escalated real quick.
Hey, you got loud again, Anthony.
It's after the show, so yes. Sorry, Lindy.
It's the after show. It's where we're just talking like we're not on camera. All because one time I forgot to stop broadcasting and it became a thing. That was like people's favorite part. They love to talk afterwards, so we just kept it.
Just so you guys know, and I wasn't lying about anything, I was one of the first people in Michigan to take Prozac.
Well, I believe
And
that.
Prozac does work.
For some,
anyone
I'm not
that
gonna. I meant to say that I wouldn't recommend it for everybody because everybody's got a different effect to it. But I did agree.
Here's the thing.
They should go
Here's the
see
thing.
somebody.
It makes you. So you go see a doctor, or whatever, they give you Prozac. It makes you. My daughter has this problem, and I have to deal with her with it. All right. It makes you feel like you're not who you are, but it has to do with the fact that you're enclosed and not seeing anyone and do anything and just taking the pill.
Yeah,
right?
but some
You
people
still
are
have
stuck
to have
doing
your
that.
normal life. You still have to have your normal life when you can. You know.
But that's why I'm suggesting I do not suggest that everybody go and try to get Prozac because some people don't have that normal outwardly life and it can make things worse. But definitely go see somebody and see
And
if
your
there's something
doctor's
that
supposed to
works
be able
for
to
you.
tell you. And if not, like I said, you go see a counselor or therapist, and
Yeah,
talk to them.
I don't necessarily always believe in medication, but I do believe it does help some people, and in certain cases, it's a very good thing to have. But I think the number one thing people have to do, and the basis of the whole show, is just understand there's people out there to relate to talk to.
And I was never a pill person, and I started taking this. So I'm someone that, all right, so
How
right
old
now,
were you? How old were you when you started taking it?
Well, he said he was
when
the
it
first
first
one,
came-
so he was probably 60,
when it
70
first
at
came
that
out,
point.
I was, what was it? It was in the mid 70s or late 70s.
Well, I'm really glad that it works and you're able to keep
Can't
that
even
going.
remember, but you go, like I said, if you talk to someone and stuff like that, but it is what it is. I mean, you have to get some help and stuff like that. And I worry about my daughter all the time.
Yeah.
My daughter went through bad things. I mean, she was molested by her half brother. She went through stuff, and then my daughter was 15 years old, and because her mother lied to her about me, I didn't talk to my daughter, and her mother threw her out when she was 15.
Yeah.
My
She needs
daughter,
somebody too.
my daughter finished school, top of her class. My daughter is like me. She's mathematical phenomenon. She's way up there and stuff. And wasn't bragging on me. I'm sorry, but and
should.
I'm proud of who she is. So I mean, my daughter she worked at the Pancake House, and they moved her right up in charge of the place. And then she worked at the Big Salad down there. They moved her up and put her right in charge of the place. And now she's working at a medicinal marijuana warehouse grow, and she's in charge of the place. She just told me today when she came over, she goes, "Dad, I'm in charge now."
That's wonderful.
That is amazing.
I
And
say,
don't
"Good
ever
for you."
say anything about bragging, because you deserve every right to be proud of that girl and everything you've done for her and everything she's become.
Well, like I said, I lost her for the longest time until my brother passed away, and she showed up at my brother's funeral. And then my mom passed away a month and a half later. My mom just gave up, and she showed up there, and that's when we connected again. So
It's glad you did, because